Hello, my beautiful little goblinos. Let me just tell you this right now. You're all amazing. But we're also playing Sword Soul. But I know. Sword Soul, Fatso, it's been out for 700 years. Come on, why are you playing this? Well, the new Sword Soul pack, the secret pack came out. So a lot more people are probably interested in making it. So I decided to make a little deck that's a little spicier than normal. So we're playing Mare and we're playing the Zing, and this is going to allow you to have much more robust end boards rather than Protoss Pass. And we're also going to just show our opponent what we mean business. So we're going to get into some games. These games are going to be piloted by Lightning from our Discord. Play Sword Soul a lot, hit Master 1 with it. And yeah, we're gonna get some games. Hello, we're here with game number 1, and our hand is looking kind of not great. It would actually be a pretty good like regular Sword Soul hand, but it's missing some pieces to the puzzle. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to play it a little differently. End up drawing the Long Yawn, which is nice. That lets us go into Baron, and now we're gonna use Adahara. This is going to allow us to go into the Den Long. And unfortunately with Den Long, we can't really do anything. We could have tried looking to go for Chao Fang, which would have allowed us to negate light monsters. But I don't think it's a good play, and neither does Lightning. It's better just get this off and have the extra negate here. Because you're pretty much unless you know for a fact your opponent's playing something like Exo Sisters, it's really not worth doing. So here's Aliber, boom, negate. Braided Loss, we're gonna negate that. Now this is really cool. She win. This is gonna be the combo to actually Herald, but the opponent has a Bishil to stop it, which is really unfortunate. But typically, what would happen is Bwen would come out from the Den Long, which is a level 3. And then Chawin would come from the graveyard, which is a level 1 tuner. And when Bwen hits the field, it allows them to synchro summon immediately. So it would let them go into a Herald, and the synchro summon would be won't be destroyed by battle. So it's pretty sweet. But it gets stopped, so kind of cringe. He ends up going into Jiao Ti, whatever, because no other target really. The level 3 is pointless to go into. And then he's going to use the Albaz to fusion off, contact fusion with Albalentus with the Drew's Worm. And then use the last Bestial Baldrake to try and muster up a board. But it's not really going to matter because of Baron. So Baron negate's still there. And it's just GG for the opponent. It wasn't even close. Hello, we're here with game number 2 against Player. And the person is going to be playing the game, I guess. Lightning is going second this game, which obviously this deck's strong point is going first. Playing against another Bestial deck. He goes into Rinbrum, which is the correct play if you are going, if you're playing into Maxi, you go into Rinbrum. So pretty normal. Nice adding. Here comes Long Yawn. There comes the Magma. He's going to actually just block the Magma with Drew's Worm. And now we're going to go into Baron using the Drew's Worm, which is going to actually get rid of the Rinbrum. This lets him pop. And then finally he has the Ash Blossom, which will allow him to go into Chao Fang. Bam. Burn for 1200, and now he has enough for lethal. Easy peasy. Wasn't even close. I don't even know why it was... Just why even bother playing the game, player? Alright, we're here with game number 3, and our hand is actually looking pretty darn good. This is kind of the hand you need to do your pretty broken combo here. So, now we can use Emergence. We grab Protoss. Taya, you banish the Emergence. So this is how you do the combo. You want to banish the Emergence. Unless you have Destrudo, you're going to be doing this with Taya. So Taya is going to banish like one of the spells. The spells will allow him to change level. So now this allows him to go to Yazi. Use Baron to pop the Yazi. That lets you get the Mare. And now Mare goes crazy. We get Shaman Tenyi. This activates to get Shathana. This is why we have Shathana in the deck, by the way. If you're wondering why there's one Shathana randomly, it's because you need it for this. This sends Moye. There's Boxia. Boom. Moye is going to activate, show the Protoss. Bam, bam. There's a Xing Long Yan. Shi Zhao. All these things activate. A million abilities activating. Boxer comes back. Pop goes the Weasel. Gonna get Chao Feng on board. So, what do we have here? Your opponent can't play Dark Monsters. You got 2 banishes, spell and special summon monsters that also burn them for 1200 each. You have a monster negate. You have an Omni negate. You have another monster negate. You have another Omni negate. You have 2 pops. And your opponent can't activate light monsters. And you have an Ash. Like, this board is crazy. Crazy powerful. And that's pretty much the board you want to be making. But my opponent plays Amawata, which is not a big deal because we have back row. We could literally just imperm this, or we could wait for him to play another card and blackout it. There's a lot of options here. We get rid of the Chao Feng because it's really not that useful at the moment. And now we're going to negate the card Demise with Ash. And it's a GG. Didn't even need all those cards. Apparently the opponent couldn't play through not much. So. Hello, we're here with the 4th game against Yumaro. And we got Ecclesia. Goes into Moye. Pretty basic plays. It's really gonna... Actually, I think this does get full combo here. Or mostly full combo. For the most part. Depends, I guess, what he gets off of this. There's a Protoss. We might end up just be shooting for... Okay, interesting. Okay, so it looks like we just gave up on everything since we used our normal summon and we had no other way. I think we were really trying to fish off of this Desires because we don't have another normal summon. But it looks like we're just banking everything into this Protoss. Which, I mean... could win. I mean, it should. I think he's playing. If he's playing Dragon Link, oh, I think he's playing like Tearlink Dragon Link. I mean, this is gonna go hard against him regardless. Okay, there's Baron. Okay, call by on the Diviner. Not bad. What the hell is this? This is like a pile. I'm pretty sure they're also playing Tier Limit. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive on this. There's the cross shape. Grabs the Black Dragon. Okay. So him doing this allows him to gain 700, so now he can actually kill the Protoss. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but I'm pretty sure this guy's playing like a bunch of darks too. Yeah, see Sharon? Like I'm like 90% sure he's playing like almost like a chaos deck. Just happens to have punk cards in it too. Okay. And then we're gonna pass. So I'm pretty sure the reason he didn't want to activate Taya, because if he activated Taya, then Baron would have just popped it and then he couldn't use Blackout. But now, I think either way, it was gonna be tough. Because he like this negate's gonna be annoying regardless, because now he just eats Blackout, right? Pops. There's the negate. There's Dark. Dark grabs Protoss. If he did not have this Bishio for it, this is probably gonna be game. With him having Protoss. I guess it would have been that, but if he was able to call water somehow, well, I guess he couldn't. He couldn't call wind either. Actually, probably wouldn't have been that bad. Moye. I mean, also kind of lucky though, top decking a worm monster. Gonna bounce. There goes Yugioh, and that's gonna lead him into full combo. And the opponent is going to scoop because he couldn't handle the sauce that we were spitting. Personally, I would have scooped because I'm an absolute chad, but we're going to go into the recap and talk about the deck in a little more detail. Hello and welcome to the recap. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the few games that we were able to show you. We didn't show too many though because a lot of people have been scooping like as we're trying to make boards and stuff. So it took a while to even just get the footage we already had, but there are some notes I do want to be making about this. But before that, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more content like this, especially since we're having another big update this week. And more importantly, join the Discord. The Discord's link is down below. We host tournaments every Friday, and those tournaments are lit. So, don't you want to try out the new cards in a tournament? A couple of things Lightning wants to make sure we have a note of is you could play Chi-Win and some of these cards at 2. The only problem in doing so is the deck is already more bricky than regular Sword Soul. So, having them at 2 just makes them even more bricky, but it also is really annoying when you're trying to do combos with the Yang Zing cards like Denlong and stuff, and you just don't have the correct cards in the deck for you to summon. So I can understand why you would want that. Secondly, Protoss is probably just a better play than most of what you can do. Like, what I mean by that is if you have a choice between getting like Denlong out, like the Denlong negate out, or getting just Protoss like Calling Dark, Protoss is probably the better play. It's the way more boring play, but it's such a powerful effect that like probably like 8 or 9 out of 10 times is just a better play. There could be like, especially since this is blind like solo mode, you know what I mean? Like we're like playing against like best of ones. Like Protoss definitely gets like even better because it's like just blind Calling Dark is gonna take out like half the decks in the format. And there's a lot of deck. Like, if they think about, like, if you're playing against, like, Branded, they can't really do anything. You're playing against Tier Limit, they can barely go into any other cards. Like, it's just a really... playing against Sprite, they can't go... a lot of the Sprite cards they can't go into. So it's a pretty devastating card to play against. Other than that, I mean, Chao Feng, I mean, this card is really good, but this card can get way better if light monsters are more popular. Right now, the main cards that you would be stopping would be like Exo Sisters, but there's really not that many light cards. I guess this card does get a little better when people start playing more Nibiru's and stuff, but by the time you go into this card, that Nibiru window is kind of already done and over with. The other way you can make this card go crazy is if you can somehow like use... like go with Jiao Tao too, or Yazi with Chao Win. And I guess the only way you could do that is if you have Yazi in the field and then you banish like Emergence or Summit to go that, so you could negate light and darks. Because unfortunately this card only negates with the original attribute of Yang Zing monsters use to synchro summon the card. So they have to be Yang Zing. You can't just like cheat this out with like if you summon this card, let's just to give you an example, if you summon this card off of like a Moye, like Moye with the level increase from Emergence, the effect doesn't really do anything, like because there's no Yang Zing card used. So also you could probably put Ecclesia to 3 if you want. Most of the time you don't really want to be seeing 2 of them, but the third copy does make it more consistent seeing it. But yeah, I personally think, and the general consensus between me and Lightning is just plain like regular Sword Soul is just a better deck because it's just a lot more consistent, and their consistent play of like Blackout plus Protoss plus Baron Yugioh is just like most of the time going to be like just a much stronger play than you doing all these like moves and maybe going into something. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're able to make that one end board we made, where we had like our five boss monsters plus Protoss or whatever, I mean, that's kind of broken, and that's like really busting. That should be an automatic free win most of the time. But again, it's really going to come down to consistency, especially when you're talking about ladder climbing. So yeah, but I think this is still a really fun and interesting take on the deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed. On a scale of 1 to 10, though, I'm gonna have to give this deck a solid 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because Sword Soul still is, I think, a really good deck, but this deck is just a lot brickier. Like you do brick quite often with it. And on a tier scaling, I would say it is a close to a, because Sword Soul is probably around tier 3 for a deck, but this version I'd probably say is like tier 4. We're gonna make a new tier for this because I don't want to say it's a rogue deck because you are still playing a bunch of Sword Soul cards, but it's definitely not the same power level as just regular Sword Soul. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I know we have a new pack coming up. We still don't know exactly what the contents of the pack's going to be. It's probably going to be Kashtira, so we might be seeing some Kashtira decks, but we'll end up finding out. All right, goodbye.